finally, a signing I think we've been talking about was going to most likely happen for 2 fucking months on this. This is almost as bad as Cody Bellinger re-signing with the Cubs finally. Blake
Yeah,
Snell
we knew that was coming.
finally signed with the Giants. Was it 2 years, 62 million, I
Yeah,
believe?
with an opt out after the first year,
With
which
an
is seems to
yeah,
be a trademark of Scott Boras clients this offseason.
that's right. It's a trademark of it's a Scott Boras signature. When he doesn't get a long-term deal, everyone can opt out right away because $31 million a year. Just how can I live on that?
Yeah. Scott Boras promises long term deals and hundreds of millions of dollars to his athletes. He continues to fail at least this offseason, where I would say now he is 0 for 3. But I do think it's a win for Blake Snell in that he's, of course, got all that money coming towards him, and he can still opt out and hit the market again next year. I do think it's a win for your Giants as well, which I think you may have just assembled the best pitching staff, at least in the NL West.
Yeah, it's a huge win for us, especially if he does anything near what he did last year, winning the Cy Young, leading the league in ERA plus at 182. Least amount of walks. He only had 99 walks over the entire season. Lowest ERA at 225 in the NL. I don't know. Maybe that might even been the majors. I'm not even sure. What's interesting about Blake Snell, and you and I have talked about it, is so he averaged 5 2/3 innings pitched last year, but we often
Mm-hmm.
see him exit, after 5. I mean, his average again was he pitched into the 6th, but couldn't get out of the 6th inning.
No quality starts.
Yeah,
That's
so
tough.
yeah, it is tough.
Well, he does have quality starts, but he averaged less than.
Yeah. What's interesting is when you look at his career and you could understand why someone was not willing to commit a long-term deal. He's pitched 180 innings twice. Last year for the Padres and 2018 for the Tampa Bay Rays. Both of those years, he did win the Cy Young. He won the Cy Young both of those years, and he led the league in his his ERA plus in 2018 with the Tampa Bay Rays was 217. That is like his ERA was a 189. He started 31 games and had a 189 ERA, 21-5. Like he obviously has good stuff, but he's been
Yeah.
injured. The following year, he pitched 107 innings. We had the strike year or the COVID year, so we won't even look at that. But then in 21, 128 and 128 again for the Padres. So and then he comes back with in a contract year. Oh, what a surprise! He comes
Mm.
back with a Cy Young performance. So he has motivation. It might be in the Giants' best interest this season that he has an opt out after 1 year.
I think so.
That he's gonna feel. He's gonna want to perform to get a longer term deal out of it. So I think it does solidify a rotation right now that on opening day is Logan Webb, Blake Snell, Kyle Harrison, who we'll be talking about in a little bit. Then you got a couple question marks. You got Jordan Hicks, who we talked about earlier in the season. He's been more of a bullpen person that the Giants converted into a starter, kind of like the Garrett Crochet situation, who's had injury
Mm.
problems. So you question that. And then Keaton Wynn, another Giants farmhand. But you do have Robbie Ray. We can't forget about
That's the
Robbie
key
Ray coming back
on the
mid-season.
horizon.
So suddenly, whether it's Hicks that pitches okay or Wynn that pitches okay, what you do have then is you've got a rotation of Logan Webb, Blake Snell, Robbie Ray, or Kyle Harrison, and then Robbie Ray, either way, and then your fifth starter. And when that happens, if Robbie Ray comes back and is anything near what he can normally perform at, then the Giants have a legitimate starting staff to make. Hopefully, they're in the hunt and definitely can make a push for the playoffs. I'm not saying it's it's the division, but they definitely make a push to the playoffs.
Word Hole Media.